Now I want to make it even more realistic. I want only the dependents whose age is more than 10 years. I want to have dependents whose age is more than 10 years. Let's go in Custom Report Edit. Let me remove this multi-instance dependents field. Let me remove that. I want all the dependents to be in separate rows, which is what we are getting if we use a related business object. We are using the related business object, so we are seeing the report in individual rows. Alright. So now I want to only filter the dependents who are more than 10 years old. So how to do it? We go to Filter, is it? And let's add another condition. Let's try to search for the fields on that. We have the fields on the report, so it should be okay. If I see age, this field is the worker's age. And I also don't have the dependent's name right, I don't have the name. This full legal name is a worker's name, right? Because it is a return's full legal name and it belongs to the worker business object. I don't have those two fields. But just that I'm not seeing it in the filter. I just moved the dependent's age after the name so that it makes more sense. So how can we do it? Well, there is an option. Subfilter. There is an option subfilter, correct. There is an option called subfilter. Now, how is it different from the filter? The filter works on your primary business object. The filter will work on all the fields in your primary business object. The subfilter works on the fields in your related business object. Got it. Very important point. Absolute interviewer's favorite. They'll ask you this question. I mean 99 out of 100 times they will ask you this question. What is a subfilter used for? Okay. A subfilter is used to filter on the related business object. Okay. Filter works on primary business object. So that is why the filter did not have the fields from the dependent's business object. Right. So now, if I go to subfilter, I will click on this related. I will click on the drop-downs. You see business objects on the report. Click on that. There is only one. There is only one business object that we have. Click on that. Dependents. You may have more related business objects as well. Click on this Add Row. The fields on the report. There you go. You have the age and the name. Right. You have the age and the name. So age? What should be the operator? Sure. Greater than or equal to right. Greater than or equal to, and 10. This is what we wanted. Right. Age of the dependents, greater than 10 years. So this is how you do it. Again, remember, subfilter works with the related business objects. Filter always works with the primary business object. Okay, very, very important point. So if I click on Run Now. Okay, so let's run this report now. So here you see, the Logan now has only 2 or 3 in the output. Right. So now we have only the dependents whose age is more than 10. Now I would tell you something very interesting and very important also. Please make a note of this. When the report runs at first, the subfilters are run. First Workday runs the subfilter. Then it goes and runs the filter. Okay, that is how it is. First it runs the subfilter. Then it runs the filter. So, if you are looking for performance, if you are looking for something, so this is something you must keep in mind. First Workday runs the subfilter, then it runs the filter. Okay. So let me go to edit the report. Edit. We added the related business object. We added the related business object now. Here you see dependents. And we added the information from there, the name and the age, etc. Okay. So we did a slightly different thing. Okay, so again this one holds. Our statement holds that in the filter we will only have fields from the primary business object. In the subfilter we will have fields from the related business object. Now, once we are done with that, let's share this. Let's share this report with other people. By default. What is the option? Do not share. Right. Oh, it refreshed again. Okay, so it refreshed every 30 minutes. That I know now. Okay, so maybe that is an interest and important for you as well. So it will refresh every 30 minutes. Maybe for you it refreshes even quicker. I mean faster. But I mean for this system. It refreshes every 30 minutes. Anyway, so by default the option is don't share report definition. Okay. So you have two other options. One is share with all authorized users. Right. You can share with all authorized users. So what does that mean? Who are the authorized users? The authorized users are the workers who have a few things. Number 1. Let me write it down on the screen itself. So people who have workers who have access to the data source. What is the data source in this report? All workers. Right. Anybody who has access to the data source. And access to the data source filters, if any. If my report uses any data source filter. If it is an indexed report, it will definitely use a data source filter. Okay. So if there are any data source filters, the worker should have access to that as well. And what is the third one? Access to the field. The workers should have access to all the fields in this report. Access to all the fields of the report. Right. There are security at 3 levels. 1 at the data source level, 1 at the data source filter level, 1 at the fields of the data source level. All fields of the data source may not have the same security permissions. There might be different security permissions even within the same data source, for example, credit card number. For example, SSN number, the Social Security number SSN. Even though SSN might be part of your worker's business object for SSN, you would need to have extra security. Right. For that, you need to have extra security. So, although you may have access to all workers, you may not have access to view the SSN of the workers. You may not have access to view the credit card of a particular worker. Right. For that, you need some special permissions. An additional domain security policy is there. Okay. So anybody who has access to all of these things, they will be able to access your report. And there is one more thing which is often missed. They should have access to the domain. Manage all custom reports. At least they should have view access. They should have view access to this domain, manage all custom reports so that they are able to see custom reports. If they are not able to see custom reports at all, then they won't be able to view your report. Isn't it? So they should have at least view access to this particular domain, manage all custom reports. Please make a note of this. It's very, very important. So if all these conditions are satisfied, right, then you get access to this particular report. And then you can share it with the authorized users. So by authorized, that is what I mean. Those are the workers who are authorized. They have access to the data source, access to the data source filters, access to all the fields of the report. This is again a very, very common interview question. Okay. When you share it with authorized users, who all are the authorized users?